Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this awesome Deadpool house. If you enjoyed this video, all I ask is that you hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. And that's pretty much everything. Let's get started. So to make Deadpool, we need all of these materials that I have in my hotbar and inventory right now. It is very possible that I have forgotten a material. I'm quite forgetful. So we might need more stuff than this later on. I don't think we do, but make sure that you have absolutely every single one of these. Pause this video if necessary, and then we can begin. So figure out where you want to make the house. It doesn't really require that much room whatsoever. And you're going to want to kick off the build with a black concrete on the ground. Then go right to the black concrete by 2 using red concrete. 1, 2. Leave a gap of 2 in the ground, and then place 2 additional red concrete. 1, 2. Then place a black concrete. Repeat that row for the next row, so directly on top of what we've just made, just to do the exact same thing. Then for the next row, going from left to right, place 2 grey concrete. 1, 2. Then a light grey. 2 red. 1, 2, a light grey, and then 2 dark grey. For the next row left to right, place a grey concrete, a black concrete, a grey, 2 red, a grey, and then a black concrete, and then a grey. For the next row, place 2 black concrete, 1, 2, 4 red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 black, 1, 2, and there's your row. For the next row, going from left to right, place a grey concrete, a black, a light grey, 2 red, a light grey, black, and then a dark grey. For the next row, place a red concrete, a light grey, a black, 2 red, a black, a light grey, followed by a red. And for the next row, place a light grey, red, black, 2 red, black, red, light grey. Then for the entire next row, place an entire row of red. And there's a reason for this. This is the start of the head, so we now want to take this row and extend it 2 rows towards us. So that'll be 1 row, 2 rows, like this. Go up on top of this second row, left to right, place a red concrete, black, 4 red, black, a red. For the next row, place 3 black, 1, 2, 3, 2 red, 3 black, there you go. For the next row, place a black concrete, 2 white, 2 black, 2 white, 1 black. For the next row, place 3 black, 2 red, 3 black. For the next row, place 2 black, 4 red, 2 black. For the next row, place a place a black, then 6 red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a black. Then place an entire row of red like this, and that will give you Deadpool's face. What you then want to do, however, is take the top of the head and extend it back by 7 rows using your red. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you want to extend every single one of those blocks backwards by 7 rows. Like this to form the top of Deadpool's head. We then want to extend the back of the head downwards, with the goal of connecting it to the front of the head. So if you just extend it down a few rows, like this, You'll then be able to see where the front of the head starts, and then you can kind of like extend this backwards also at the same time. And you should be able to find that with some careful maneuvering, you can have them meet somewhere in the middle like this. Cool, like that. You also want to fill in the sides of the head using your red concrete. There is no other materials required. And once you have done that, we can then move on to the next bit. So we're just going to want to fill all of these in using the red concrete, just as I keep describing, like this. Very good. Now, once we have done that, we are going to add a bit more detail to the sides of the statue as well. So what we want to do to begin with is on the sides of the statue, we want to take the 2 rows of black that we have on the sides and we want to extend them backwards by 3. So like the 2 blacks at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, like that. You also want to do the same thing with the light grey at the top. 1, 2, 3. However, the rest of it can pretty much just be red concrete. It's not really that important as it's very much covered up by pretty much everything. So like this, and do the same on the opposite side, like extend all the blacks backwards, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, not all of them, just those, and then the light grey too, 1, 2, 3, and then place red concrete in between all of the other rows, like that. You can then quite easily just fill the back of the statue in using red concrete. You don't really have to add any more detail than this, and you'll see why in a little bit. But for now, that's all we're going to have so far. That's what we're going to have for the back of the statue, because you see the next part of this is going to be for us to give Deadpool arms, and then we are literally going to arm him with weaponry. So we're going to grab our black concrete, and on the right hand side of the statue where we have this row of light grey, we want to place 4 rows of black coming out of the statue. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You then want to take all of those outer black concrete blocks that aren't touching anything, and you want to extend them down by 3. So that's going to, actually, 4 would actually work better. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do that all the way around. It actually works a little bit better on the front, but it actually works a little less so on these sides. I'll show you what I mean in a second, but extend those all down by that. Because what we should have done really is only extended them down by 3, and then we should have used red concrete really to then add another row, which would be the 4th row. So you might want to rectify that. That would have been better than extending it down by 4. You see, the only reason that I wanted that additional 4th row there is because we then want to take what is now the row of red concrete. If you destroy that last row, turn it into red, you then want to take that top row of concrete, the front row of red concrete, and extend it forwards by 4 rows. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then add 2 rows of black. So that's going to be 1 and 2. What you then want to do, which is kind of funny actually, you want the left half of this to be red. So like the 2 left blocks, you turn them red. And the 2 right blocks want to be black. And then extend those 1 row towards you. So like the red forwards and the black forwards. You then want to extend all of the sides of the arm downwards. So whatever color it is, extend it down. For instance, you know, where it's red, extend red. Where it's black, extend black. There's really no more explanation needed there. That's pretty much all there is to it. So red, red, black, black, easy enough. Just extend it down. Same applies for the rest of the arm. This is where things would have looked weird had we have left everything black. Like if we would have left that extra row of black, it would have looked a bit weird here, you see, which I anticipated and changed. So we're just going to fill all of that in using the red. That's cool. Okay, I think that we have just about all the materials we need to make Deadpool's gun. So, Deadpool, fan of weaponry, can't blame him. We're going to give him a gun. So we want to take specifically this block of the hand, this one right here, and we want to place an upside down stone brick stairs in front of this block. You then want to place a grey concrete in front of and below the stairs. You then want to place a light grey concrete on top of the stairs. You also want to place 2 grey concrete behind it. 1, 2, and also 3 in front of it. Is it 3? Yeah, 3 in front of it. 1, 2, 3, like this. Then on top of this row of light grey, you want to place, going from left to right is probably the easiest thing you can do, is place a light grey, 2 grey, then 2 light grey. And you want to place a stone slab on top of that last light grey and pull it back as well, like this. We also want to place a black concrete block here, coming out of the front of the gun, and then we're going to place a little bit of cobweb, maybe about 3, like 1, 2, 3 in front of it, and then we're going to place a yellow concrete in front of that, so it looks as though Deadpool is shooting his gun. So that looks pretty cool. So once you have done that, we can now come to the opposite side of the build where we have the opposite arm, and we want to take the light grey concrete at the top of this side of the statue and extend it outwards by 4 rows using black concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then extend those 4 rows of black concrete forwards by 4 using red. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in front of this, going from left to right, you want to split this again. You want to place 2 black coming in from the left and 2 red on the right, like this. So the inner blocks are actually, the entire thing wants to be black. My apologies. You want to place 2 rows of black, 1, 2 rows of black, and then we're going to split it. So from the left, we're going to place 2 black, 2 red, extend those towards us like this. We then want to take the outer parts of the arm, every single one of the outer blocks of the arm, and you want to extend them down by 3 rows. So that'll be like 1, 2, 3, except this applies everywhere. So you want to take all of the red blocks, extend them down. You want to take all of the black blocks, extend them down. And yeah, that'll actually be pretty good once you have done that. So all the red, all of the black, just extend it down by 3 rows, just like this. Like that. And we've got the red too, like this, and the black at the back as well. Oh, what we will also do, because the arm is suspended, we didn't have to do this on the opposite arm. Underneath the arm also has to be filled in, but that's quite easy. You basically just join whatever color you have on one side to the other side, or like it kind of like this. Like it's quite obvious what you have to do. Like it just wants to match the top, basically. If you just make sure that it matches the top, you should be alright like that. That looks pretty good, if you ask me. Now, once you have done that, we have something else to do. So, Deadpool has a sword. He actually has 2 swords, unless there's another one that I'm not aware of. Might be hiding it somewhere. I don't want to know where. So, we want to grab our white concrete. We want to take any one of these 2 middle blocks of the hand. It can, any one of these, doesn't really matter which one. And we are, well, actually, I think that, actually, we're going to make the sword only 1 block thick instead of 2, I think. So we want to take specifically this block. I guess I lied. We want to take this block specifically, and we want to place a black concrete on top of this block and in front of it, like this. We also want to place a diagonal black concrete coming up and back from the one on top of the hand, and we want to place a black concrete coming in front and down from the one on the bottom of the hand, or the front of the hand. We then want to place a white concrete right in the center like this, and then we're going to place 6 up left diagonal white concretes coming up in front of the statue. So that's 6. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Then we grab our grey concrete here, and you just want to place grey concrete on the outsides of all of those whites. So basically, you don't want any of the white to be getting out anywhere. You just want to completely fill it in using the grey concrete like this. And that is one of Deadpool's katanas or however you want to pronounce it. Doesn't really matter. There we go. If you wanted to, by the way, you could perhaps give him another gun, or you could have him dual wield his swords. But it's up to you kind of like how you want to do things. I kind of like a mix of the two. So I'm going to dump all these materials, ladies and gentlemen, because the next thing we need to do is we need to give Deadpool doors. So I'm going to place a double oak door on the front of Deadpool, show people that it's actually a house, or could be a house, depending upon whether you are actually interested in making this a house. You don't have to. You really don't. It's not really part of the quota for you to. But what we do have to add is on the back of the statue, we need brown concrete, black terracotta, we need black concrete, and we need some grey concrete, the dark grey. Okay, so you want to, on the back of Deadpool, the best way to describe it, it's basically like a sword holder, or whatever you call it, a sheath. It's basically like a double sheath where Deadpool keeps his swords. So using brown concrete, we want to begin from this block right here. This is his left arm, it's at the top right hand corner of the arm, and we want to place a brown concrete, like that. And then we want to place ourselves 2 brown concrete coming down bottom left diagonally, like we want to place one here and then one here. And then we want to place bottom right diagonal brown concrete until we hit the ground. We then want to go right by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place the same amount of diagonals to take us back up, which would be 5. So we want to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 2 up left diagonals, 1, 2, and then 3 bottom left diagonals, 1, 2, 3. We want to go left also, I do believe by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do 2 up left diagonals to connect back like this. So this is what part of the sheath looks like, the double sheath, whatever you want to call it, really doesn't matter, like I keep saying. You then want to use black terracotta to fill in the empty space left between the rows of brown concrete, and you want to 1 row outwards place a row of black terracotta that is just going to fill in all of the empty space like this. Just like that, just about actually, we just got that one left up there too. So we want to have something which should look like that. Kind of reminds me of a really weird looking like deer head, you know, like with the antlers. Anyway, that's what you want to have. You know what, you could even fancy it up a bit if you wanted to. You could maybe like place a cross or something kind of like this using grey concrete if you wanted to, like in the middle, with maybe a little bit of black concrete, or maybe even like a bit of light grey in between. This was not planned, by the way. Maybe even like a light grey concrete here, and maybe like a white concrete as kind of like a buckle. Not really that important, it's just a slight bit of detail. But I'll tell you what is important is the fact that we give Deadpool another sword. So Deadpool, right, he's holding a sword in his right hand. So I figure that his other swords should probably be in this section right here. Like he's probably grabbed his right sword from this part just over his right shoulder. So this sword right here, we want to place a black concrete in between these 2 black terracottas. We then want to place 2 up left diagonal grey concretes, 1, 2. We want to place black concrete all the way around the dark grey like this, connecting back. And then all we want to do is place a black concrete coming down here. So it basically just looks like Deadpool's sword is sheathed in one of the sheaths, and from the front it looks quite cool. I mean, you can see it right there, just kind of hanging over his shoulder. That's why I figured that like the left one, like he'd just he'd put his arm like right behind his back, wouldn't he? He wouldn't really like reach over and try and grab one. That wouldn't make too much sense. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Deadpool statue house complete. Obviously, if you want to do the interior, all you got to do is like put a couple of ladders coming all the way up the back, coming all the way up to the top of Deadpool's head. But I myself, I'm using this far much more as a statue, just as a visual thing rather than actually turn it into a little house. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me and the channel out so much. I actually watched Deadpool 2 not too long ago, and it was an incredibly good movie. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch it, because I know that it's 15. I know that I've got some younger people on the channel, so I don't know whether everybody will have managed to watch it or not. If you you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscription button. I have made a couple of statues like this. You might be able to see Iron Man over there, perhaps Thanos, you might see Milano, which is Guardians of the Galaxy spaceship, and perhaps even the Infinity Gauntlet in the background. I make all sorts of stuff. You can check all this stuff out in the card system in the description below. There's the Avengers playlist, which has all of my like sort of comic book related stuff relating to the Avengers in there, if that's your sort of thing. It's all the same universe with the whole Marvel thing. And we also have the cartoon builds playlist, which once again, the card system in the description below, it'll show you how to make all sorts of stuff. I do also make other builds, including survival builds, modern houses, suburban. You guys will have to check those out on your own, all in the card system description below. That's pretty much everything though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I really do appreciate every single one of you so much. Like, you have no idea how much I do. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!